Shirley and I are just having a discussion about the Ducknington crests, and I'm looking it up in the beginning Tlingit workbook for a reference of clan crests.
Neela,
Aha.
you're a little quiet.
Oh, thank you. Um, Let me turn up my mic. Is this better at all?
A lot better.
Okay, thank you. So, Ducknington. For people like me who are always trying to learn more about clans, clan crests, and the houses, I like this chart in the beginning Tlingit workbook in on page 90, and it has the clan name. You can search it in your search bar. So Shirley and I were just talking about the snail house. So I searched Duck Bane Ton. It took me to this page. People of the house toward the side. Island on the outer coast beyond Cape Spencer or inside Situya Bay. Primary crest says black-legged kittiwake. Secondary crests are frog, whale, Mount Fairweather, freshwater coho, sockeye, bullhead, snail, and Venus. And I'm looking for the snail house. So I see a snail house under Tachitan. Tachit. Let me see if there's one here. I don't see snail house in this table for Duckdington. Obviously, that doesn't mean there isn't one, because this table doesn't include everybody. It's just what's
Yeah,
documented so far.
yeah, the snail house was the most famous house in Huna because of the artwork that they put on the outside of the house.
Okay.
As far as the tourists were concerned, there was no other house.
Okay. So I see the Tachit or snail house of Huna. And are they part of the Duckdington or were they
Yeah,
before?
they're Duckdane Town.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
My husband got adopted in by the snail house, Duckdane Town. So
Okay.
he's the same clan as my dad, but he's from the snail house.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so they must be a Raven clan.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That talk that Edna's aunt was giving
Mm-hmm.
was so full of information about Huna. It's just amazing. And she seemed to be really in a hurry to give the talk, but she had uh, talked about the Duckdane town and the women and what it meant to them
Mm.
at the snail house. So uh, yeah, that was pretty good.
Should we plan to show that one of these days in this class?
Yeah, I think we need to look at it a little more so I could. I don't know if there was a translation after that, but I got so taken by uh, the information she was giving
Mm-hmm.
that I didn't even think about the fact that it probably wasn't translated.
I'm forgetting her name right now.
Yeah, Mills.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
Catherine. I think Catherine.
There's a Catherine Mills, and then I want to say Betty for some reason. I'll look it up. I'll do my research.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, everybody, welcome to. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Welcome to class, everybody. Shaksani Keek and I are happy, as always, to see you guys. Today is Tuesday, first day of October. And for today, we want to let you guys know that in this month, we're going to be planning a modern day ku'ik. So last week, we had guest speaker Edna Lanebol, who shared a lot about her experience attending ku'ik, a lot about the planning process that's put into a ku'ik. And she walked us through the book that SHI published on memorial services and ceremonial planning. So we want to take what we learned and put it into action so that we can all practice together and better prepare for our future roles in ku'ik. So for today, the first step will be asking you all which clans you belong to and finding out which clans we have among this group. Um, we want to let you know that when we talk about our ceremonies, they're very important to us, and that can kind of bring us a sense of weight and responsibility. But we don't want you to panic about this exercise. We're going to be simplifying it because a lot of us, like myself, are just learning. We want this to be fun, and we also want you to know what it takes to put on a ku'ik.
Yeah, too bad that it's going to be virtual, so you won't be eating. We can have a lot of fun because of that. All the food we want to eat, we'll put it on the menu to uh, to serve at the party. Of course, we're not going to have a party that, yeah, virtually. It's just something we want to discuss, and we just can have a lot of fun and have eat what we uh, like the best and serve to how to serve it and everything. Um, I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh. Um. Right off the bat, before we get started, do any of you have questions or comments so far?
Uh, Anybody experience a modern day potlatch? There was a lot of questions for Etna. I think we were thinking about having her come back to kind of supervise us as we go through the process. So if you have questions, uh, she, we can get the questions to her or she can be available to answer.
Yeah, I appreciate your guys' questions last time. There were some about naming, um, some about deciding on the Nakani, who decides, and how do you select one. If you guys come up with questions along the way, just let us know. This will be a safe learning space for all of us, and we look forward to it.
I
So,
had
yeah.
this is Kua, and
Yeah.
I was wondering if you are formally invited to a kuwait.
Yeah.
I'm a new learner, so sorry if my question's quite elementary. What is
Oh.
your responsibility as a guest? And is there anything specific that you need to know or bring? And is there any particular type of dress code that an invited guest needs to wear?
And in regards to uh, what you need to wear, there wasn't any, even traditionally, that wasn't a requirement. So I think one of the things that Edna brought up was as a new learner that she didn't know who was raven and who was eagle. And I think the idea of giving a scarf to the host that's a different color than the guests really helped her. And I think that that's a real good idea. Uh, so it used to be, and this is one thing that we can talk about for this, because it's fun, is uh, the Nakani would come to the house and say, "You are invited to a party tonight," and bring bring a plate, some spoons, and a cup and a jar or something to carry things home in a bag, so that you can use that and bring you home your own dishes. So it was kind of neat that you didn't have to do dishes after the party because they took it home, and because that was their own. And so that's something after we pick the Nakani, we can talk about and decide uh, to if we want to include that as something that when they're invited, uh, there is a phrase in the Satan Lingit that says you are invited, but we didn't look any further to say what you needed to bring. That was one of the only requirements was to be there and to bring what they told you to bring. So
O-
because they wouldn't have any plates or anything to give you when you got there.
Okay. Would this be an event that I would wear my cedar hat and any like a vest, regalia vest?
uh, no, they didn't have that kind of requirement uh, because that was kind of put aside until it's time to dance after the potlatch is over.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh.
Okay, ganas chish.
yeah. The it was all right for the for the host to display uh, things like the blanket and the vest and the hat, but not wear it, to display it
Hmm.
for show.
Hmm.
And it can be and doesn't have to be introduced. It's just their visual display there on the table usually.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Goodness, cheese. Really good question and answer. Thank you both.
Yeah. So how many people do we have right now?
So now, including you and me, there are 10 people.
Okay.
So let me look in the chat because we have some comments. I want to make sure I'm not missing any questions. All right, so I have a question. Can you please post in the chat the class outline again when you get a chance? So we'll definitely talk about our class schedule for the month. I was also asked, what does TCLL stand for? I mentioned it in a previous class. TCLL is Tlingit Culture, Language, and Literacy. It's a program for kindergarten through 8th grade students. Regarding Kuik as an invited guest, is there something special to wear? Okay, we Shaksani Kik just answered that. Question on arranged marriages. Shirley, do you want to talk about that at all, or should we plan it for a future discussion?
Yeah, it's quite a big discussion about how the process of how it's done. But I think that's a real good subject for a later time. And I think one of the speakers that really does a good job of that is Dr. Maria Williams.
Oh,
Um, we might, if she has time, or if she has a video that can tell us more about that, and I can do the input from what I know,
Oh,
because that was something I heard all my life when I was young. So I
yeah.
kind of expected it, and I even thought if there was an arranged marriage that I would go along with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they indoctrinate you from a very young age to be thinking that way.
Mm.
Yeah.
this is what you had mentioned about the arranged marriages earlier in the past classes, and so my main question was, when did it stop? When did that tradition stop?
The tradition stopped when the teachers or uh, the school system said, no way, you can't stay out of school for a year or
Okay.
even weeks or months. So a lot of that was done away with because of uh, minister missionaries and educators said it can't be done. So uh, they quit doing that. And for those that were brought up to expect it, that was a big blow. Uh, there was a book by uh, Canada. Uh, I think it's called The Three Women or something like that. And they talked about how they really missed. They felt that they missed out because they didn't get to go through that process. That was a very special process for girls.
Mm.
Gonna say
Yeah.
Good question. Also a question in the chat. What is a fire bowl?
A fire bowl, as I knew it, was designed to put the favorite food of the person that died, and they filled the bowl with that, and then the clan would stand around the bowl and call out different names of people that have passed on from that particular clan, including the person that they were having the party for. Then they took the bowl and dumped it in the fire to burn up all of that. It's a process of sending. That was the delivery system. And so today, the modern day fire bowl is a lot of the favorite goodies in a bowl, and it's usually covered. And you do the same process of calling out the names and then give the bowl to somebody at the party.
Mm.
So that's the big difference. And that's why they call it the fire bowl, because uh, it used to be they would burn up all the food that they had in the bowl.
That's
this
so cool.
what
Go ahead, Gua.
significance of burning the items in the bowl? You said it was a sending. I'm not familiar with that term.
Well, sending it to the spirit world where the people have gone. That's what they thought.
Okay, gonna say
Yeah.
That's the exact same belief we have in my family's culture, the Koi Kainata Baskin. That's how we feed our ancestors, is by burning food for them.
Yeah, they don't, in today's system, there's no place to set an open fire. So that's, that has changed because of that.
Mm. These are excellent questions. Okay, I have another one. Is there a process before the ku'ik where the opposites feed the hosts like the night before?
No,
Okay.
no, there's the planning, and I'm not really familiar with that, but the planning process where the women would get together with the leaders, uh, and I think it's like picking a date and the best time to have it to so that they could arrange for everything, the food and be ready with the donations and whatever they had to plan on. So uh, it wasn't something, okay, tomorrow we're going to have it. It took a lot of planning, I think, because some of those parties were big,
Mm-hmm.
were really big. Yeah. So I can't imagine that it wouldn't take a lot of planning.
Mm. And that would be amongst the hosts.
Yeah. 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 The clan that's going to give the party would get together and
So cool. Already having an awesome discussion. Are there any more comments or questions?
I'm sure there will be as we go along. So just feel free to present it.
Yeah. So, talking a little bit about our steps. For today, we planned just a couple steps. First of all, okay, we've announced that we're making a modern day ku'ik. Then we'll find out which clans we have and whether or not everybody has names. For this class exercise, you each will be giving a speech, but don't worry, for our learning purposes, your speech will mostly be your self introductions. So we realize some of you have been with us for a couple of years now and are familiar with your self introductions, and then some of you are brand new. So we'll be working together to get everybody familiar with the self introductions as Shirley and I teach it. Um, and that's the speeches. Uh, we also wanted to let you know that for folks who don't have a name, Lingit name, um, we will do a mock adoption at the Ku'ik that we're hosting so that people can be given names and that everyone here can learn how that process is done. Shirley, did you want to add anything else?
No.
Okay. And then just looking ahead, so for next Thursday, or this Thursday, our next class, we'll have breakout rooms for people to practice self introductions. People who are familiar will help me coach people who are new. We'll start planning our speeches. We'll get ready to select the Nakani and practice introductions. Then, for those of you who are curious about our schedule and outline, we'll be the next Tuesday is October 8th. I won't be here, but Shirley will be here. And everyone will continue practicing self introductions with Shirley. Work on the choosing the Nakani. after the Nakani is selected, this is an important role, but speech giving is not one of the main priorities of the role of the Nakani. So everyone in the class will practice and learn what the Nakani traditionally says to people in Lingit. But if you are selected as the Nakani for our virtual Mak Kuik, then speech giving will not be one of your big responsibilities. Then we'll plan the speeches. So there will be a council of chiefs among us, and the council of chiefs will provide a list of who to invite for the Nakani, and then the Nakani will go door to door to everybody and have a short conversation with the person they're inviting. And we're going to teach you the phrases that you need to know in Tlingit to invite people to the party. So that's an overview of the first steps of our kuik. Are there any questions so far? Okay. So let's figure out who here among us belong to a Raven clan? What about Eagle clans?
Kua is Kagwantan,
Okay,
eagle.
okay.
Katsu. I'm Kagwantan too. Tau.
Okay,
Kaya Kaudukat, also Kagwantan.
okay, okay.
Saki, Ducklawady, which is also Eagle from Natasahani.
Okay.
For me, I'm from the Crow clan in the Yukon, and the split-tail beaver clan, which is Deshiton. So
Okay.
it would be classed probably under the raven. Definitely not the eagle.
Okay. Gunarchish. And not to forget, Shaksani Keek is Kagwantan. Okay, for Kagwantan, I have Kua. Oh, let me figure your spelling.
What is it?
Kayak Kauduchat. Kauduchat is Kagwantan. So for Kagwantan, I have Kua, Kayak Kauduchat, Seki, Leandra, Shaksani Keek. For Raven or Crow, I have Shagi Auk, who's Deshitan. Did I miss anybody?
Found only 7.
Kaya yukat dosak Ducklawady ayakat
Okay, Dakluedi. Is that Eagle or Raven?
Bach
Okay. So, Kaya is Dakluedi. Dakluedi. I think it's a pinched L. Dakluedi. No. Dakluedi. It is a pinched L. Chug. Okay. Okay, so
And-
Shirley. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say Nilatoga. It's a key, and so I am Ducklawady as well.
Okay. Gunaftish. So Shirley, for the eagle side, I think all our eagles are Kagwantan. Oh no, and Ducklawady. So we have Kua, Kayak Kaudachat, Siki, Leandra, Shaksanikik, Kaya. So that's 6 people. Let me fix this. Eagles.
But we have 4 ravens.
For ravens, we have 1 Deshitan Shagi Ak.
You can put me on the Raven list. I'm Granach TD.
Gunaftish. We have 2 ravens.
Underline G. Gunashish.
Gunaftish Waetza. One, two, three, four, five, 6 eagles and 2 raven / crow.
Better invite some more ravens, huh?
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to pose as a raven?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Caribou Clan, but I'll pose as a raven.
And maybe we do have to invite Edna because she's stuck in town.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So that'll make 4, and I think it would be good.
That should be pretty closer to balanced.
Yeah.
Cool.
Watch out, Hagwantan, you're not getting off easy. But what we want to do is when we plan the food is everybody will be involved, the whole class. We'll just have a lot of fun with it. Since it's virtual, we can do anything we want. And there will be a requirement to say the food in native. So don't pick lasagna because there's no Tlingit word for it.
In this case, will the Eagles be hosting?
No,
Okay.
ravens.
Ravens will be hosting.
Yeah.
Okay. And are there any people who don't have Tlingit names that would like to exercise being adopted into a clan for our class exercise?
Does everybody have a clan or have a name?
Felina, you have your hand up? So, Felina. Oh, Felina, I didn't get your clan. Oh, Eagle. Okay. Felina is an eagle, so we actually have 7. And Shirley, I put Raven and Crow as both under the Raven side because I
Oh, yeah,
realized.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's what we do.
Okay. So Felina would like to be adopted, and she's an eagle. And that works. Or let's see. For the adoption, can both the guests and the hosts adopt people at the Kuik?
That's what I was wondering. I've only seen it where the host does that, but it seems only right that uh, if the Eagle Clan would agree to ask the host if it can be done, because that was the only opportunity for that person to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So then if they're not hosting, but they want to do an
Yeah.
adoption, they'll ask.
So
Okay.
the Eagle Clan is going to have to uh, uh, talk with the person that doesn't have a name if they have no idea what they want to be called. Then it should be a discussion about picking a name, either picking a new name or helping them with a family name that could be used.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that'll be much later down the road that we can work on that. But
Okay.
I think it's possible. I've never seen it done, but I don't know why the Council of Chiefs could make the request ahead of time and it could be done at the party
Okay.
after the Council of Chiefs have spoken.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So helpful. So we've determined our number of eagles and ravens. The ravens will host, and they will select a Nakani of the eagle side. Is there anything else we need to discuss before we move into the next step?
Are there any questions or comments? You all fainted away or
Don't be shy, guys.
yeah.
Hello, this is Kayak Kaudahat.
Ah,
I just wanted to share an experience with a similar situation that I was involved in 2000. We had a culture camp and they had, I think they had done 2 weeks of gathering and they prepared for the very end a ku'ich. And my brother and I were asked to participate as men because they didn't have any men on site. And I guess the young boys were just running around, not listening. But so when they brought us in, they calmed down. It was really awesome experience to participate. And at the very end, one of the discussions we had was these young children that we had the ku'ich, that had the ku'ich, they would ask us, will you be my uncle or will you be my aunt? And it was so cute.
oh.
You couldn't say no. So these young boys and young girls, would you be my uncle? Like, oh yes, I'll be your uncle.
Oh,
Yeah. That's
I love,
interesting.
yeah.
Did they give out pet names like we do in class
I think most of the children were Tlingit, and I think they had names.
already? Yeah.
Yeah, and it was my aunt and her sister were in charge of the program. We just went along with it.
Yeah.
We just did what we were told.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that.
That's awesome. Anybody else have a story or experience you want to share about? I think this exercise will be really fun. I'm learning as I go. I ordered that book that Edna mentioned, and so I'm excited for it to arrive for me and Shirley.
This is Kua. I had a quick question.
Yeah.
So if we say we're Kagwantan,
Mhm.
I've had somebody say, "Oh, this is my clan sister," or "This is my clan brother." What does that actually mean? Does that mean that they have to be Kagwantan in the specific, like, eagle or specific wolf or the specific house to be called or referred to as a brother or a sister?
You don't have to be from the same house, but if you're the same clan, it is your sister or your brother.
Gonna see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use that term and say you're trying to introduce somebody. I just met this person, she's my clan sister. I want you to meet her, that kind of thing. So then you kind of leave it up to them to give the further explanation.
Hmm.
Okay, thank you. I was just wondering because when you just made that list of all the people that are eagles, so like Shiksani Keek, we're both Kagwantan.
Yeah,
We be clan sisters, or we are
we are clan sisters and clan brothers, all those that were named, the 5 people.
oh, okay. So you don't have to be from the same house.
No,
Okay, gonna cheat.
you don't even have to be uh, the same clan. Kagwantan, we are brown bear, and so if another Kagwantan comes along and they're killer whale, we still we're still uh, clan brothers and sisters. And if they say Daktawadi, which is killer whale, and Goon, that's eagle, but has a different name. They are still eagle, even if they're not Kagwantan.
Okay, gonna cheat.
Yeah.
And Kua, just to add to that, I'm a grandchild of Kagwantan, so all of you Kagwantan are my grandparents as well.
Aw.
Interesting. Knew
Is
there's
it?
about you. Barry.
What? What'd you say?
Or there was something great about you, the whole Kagwantan side.
Yeah. That's always uh, happy to hear that somebody say, "Hey, we might be related," that depending on what house they come from.
Mhm,
Uh, it's important, but then it's always great to know that they're from the Eagle clan.
mhm.
Yeah, President Peterson of the Cricket Hideout. He's my clan brother. He's Kakwantan.
We still have 13 minutes left of class. And are there any more questions or comments about clan kinship and relationships?
Maybe I can do a short discussion uh, on on the girls
Yeah.
when they the girls have. I think talking about the science of the body, uh, the girls are maturing quite early nowadays, and they talk about it being the factor being the food that is used. I don't really know, but I think the girls tended to be 14, 15, before they have their first period in the olden days. So the girls were a little more older and uh, were already ready to marry. So if we have a 13-year-old girl today, uh, the law wouldn't look that favorably on them, pushing them to be married because that's really too young. And even I think even the Clinkets would think so. But there was a special ceremony that was used that I know about in uh, when this happens, uh, like a 5-day fast, and they could have water, but they weren't allowed to drink from a cup, uh, put the cup to their mouth. So they made straws out of uh, bird bones, because the bird bones were hollowed out, and just after it's cooked, then you have a hollow bone that can be used as a straw. And they were required to drink their water through that bone that was made into a straw. And so the only contact that she would have is her grandmother, and if, of course, if the grandmother is gone, but the mother, the grandmother, the mother, the sister, uh, that could have contact with her to care for her. She was uh, put away. They called it, putting them away, so that they had no contact absolutely with men or boys, even the brothers, family members, to talk to them or even have any kind of contact. So since they went by the moon, that was the clue after to uh, say that it was a year-long process. And during that time, while she was uh, in isolation, she couldn't come out if nobody was around to, or she had a cape that covered her face. It was allowed to to come outside and do things, not among the people, but by herself, going to the woods or something. Um, the uh, when the time got close for her uh, to have somebody be selected to be her husband, the women would get together and decide what who could be selected to be her spouse, her husband. she had no choice. And so the only choice was by the mothers to, or the women who were the emissaries. When the time came really close, I'm not sure about coming out, if there was a coming out party or coming out time or anything. I kind of heard something about it, but I don't know. But the women would get together and uh, take some gifts to show that the the payment that they can make is a good one and a good trade uh, for getting the husband. And they can go if the person that was selected to be her husband lived in the same town, they would go to that family and as emissaries to find out if the young man or the person was willing to be the new husband. Sometimes they, I think they actually tried to go to other towns where they knew, because it was a political system, they tried to go to other towns to find a spouse that would uh, bring her status up to uh, as a young lady and soon to be mother of children from that family. So they were very strict about that. And I know that for sure that they even watched the bloodlines. So you didn't marry somebody that was your first cousin, like the kings and queens did. Their preference was their own family. But they didn't do that with the Tlingit girls. So I think if we get Maria to come and talk about it, that the men could refuse uh, the emissary to. They would have to either select somebody new or have another discussion to find out why there was a refusal, and they could keep trying or whatever. If they selected an older man, the girl would have to go with that. But it took a year. And then of course, when the schools started and the missionaries came, that was, they stopped, they put a stop to that practice. So the girls had to go to school. And instead of dealing with their mom and their grandma and their sisters, they had to deal with the nurse to help them. So, yeah, there was a real big change and difference in that. It was also possible to have her marry somebody that was already married, and that happened where a man can have two wives. But I don't think I ever heard of more than two wives. So, are there? We could go a lot deeper into that in regards to the reason it was a political system, and there's a reason for doing that. So I talked to so many people that were very self-conscious for marrying into their own clan, which was totally forbidden at that time. And they used to call it "Don't marry your own sister," but what they meant by that was marry into your own clan. So if there's any questions or comments on that.
There's a question in the chat, which we only have 2 minutes left today, but we could always answer it in the next coming classes. But the question is, does warming of hands happen at Ku'ik?
The warming of the hands, like I talked about the memorial services, that's when that was done. The warming of the hands of the people that were in mourning. And that's where the term came from. And if they do it in today's modern parties, I don't know.
So that would happen at the memorial service.
Yeah,
Okay.
but remember today the memorial service is combined with the regular party because of the songs and dances and also the fire dishes. All those were done. It used to be always in a memorial service.
Comment from the chat. We have 1 minute left, but they wanted to share. Excellent class. We loved all the questions. I learned so much. Gunarchish.
Yeah, yeah, we're learning too, and because this is all new to me, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. So for our next class Thursday, surely you have a commitment that day, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so everybody, I'll be here this Thursday and we'll be working on our pronunciation and practice of our self-introductions to prepare for our next steps in this exercise. So have a good rest of your day and I'll see you this Thursday, same time. Nachich.
eh, good cheese.
Good luck, Chase. Yeah, Tatsu.